Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right, but you still feel way behind? You might have a decent job, are working hard, maybe even saving a bit, but somehow your account never seems to grow and you still feel behind. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 7 sneaky habits that might be quietly holding you back. Fix even one of them, and you could finally start building the financial momentum you've been working so hard for. The first bad habit to break is sacrificing security for status. We live in a culture obsessed with status. Ads tell us luxury equals worth, social media shows off people's highlight reels, and quietly, day by day, we feel the pressure to keep up. And one of the biggest money traps is spending for status. That luxury car, designer bag, or fancy meal might look impressive, but often it just leaves you financially stressed. And oftentimes, you're just paying for the illusion of success.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate, so we buy shit we don't need.
The problem with status is that it's a slippery concept. A lot of it is not real. It only exists mostly inside your head, based on what you think others people think. And the truth is, most people don't care. They're too busy worrying about themselves. Meanwhile, you're stuck paying for things that don't bring lasting happiness. I learned this firsthand myself. When I first started earning some decent money, I felt the urge to show it off. Even though I'm not that into cars, I upgraded my car from an Infiniti to a Lexus and then to a BMW. Each one felt exciting for about a month. And after that, I completely lost interest in it. And that's why I firmly believe in choosing security over status. Because financial security, while you can't show it off on Instagram, it gives you something more valuable. And that's peace of mind. Knowing that you're okay no matter what life throws at you, to me, is priceless. And if you want to stay grounded, these are 2 rules that help me out to kind of give me an overall picture of what I should be spending on things like this. There's the net worth rule, which is to limit luxury purchases to 1 to 3% of your net worth per year. And then there's the income rule, where you could keep luxury spending under 5 to 10% of your after-tax income each year. It's fine to enjoy nice things, but do it because you love them and not to impress others. The real flex is living below your means and knowing you're financially free. Next up is lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is one of the easiest ways to stay stuck living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much you earn. You might get a raise or bonus and then immediately upgrade your lifestyle. Maybe a fancier vacation, nicer clothes, or just spending more because you deserve it. But here's the catch. In Canada, higher income means higher taxes and extra CPP contributions. That extra money you think you're getting, a big chunk disappears before it hits your account. Take Jason. He went from earning $70,000 a year to $77,000. Now, while it sounds like a 10% raise, he crossed into the new YAMPE range, so he now pays an extra 4% into CPP and higher marginal tax on the top end. His real after-tax raise is closer to just 7%. But Jason played it smart. He only increased his spending by 3% and saved the rest. That way, he enjoyed the raise without locking into higher monthly expenses. And Jason's strategy is something that I suggest that you try to employ. If you do receive a raise or a windfall of some kind, be strategic about it. Figure out exactly how much after-tax money you'll have and try to at least save half of that if possible. Because lifestyle creep is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in it. No matter how much you add, it keeps slipping away. You feel richer, but you don't build real security. And I'm not saying don't enjoy your success, just don't let lifestyle upgrades outpace your actual take-home pay. Once you're locked into bigger expenses, it's really tough to go back. And another pro tip is after a raise, wait 30 days before making any big purchases. And if you still want it, go for it. If not, you might have just saved yourself a huge chunk of change. The third bad habit is not tracking your financial vitals. And this brings us to the next thing, not tracking your net worth and spending. If you don't track where your money goes, you'll never notice lifestyle creep or spending on status happening in real time. You'll just look up one day and wonder why your account balance hasn't moved in years, even though your income has gone up. Tracking your money is a lot like tracking your health vitals. If you were trying to stay in good shape, you wouldn't skip measuring your blood pressure or cholesterol or your weight and just hope for the best. But that's exactly what many people do with their finances. Only about 49% of Canadians report having a budget, which means nearly half aren't keeping a close eye on where their money goes. And while budgeting is one of the most important first steps in managing finances, many people still avoid it. The rest cite all kinds of reasons for not budgeting. And I understand a lot of them. Some feel too busy or find it boring. Others feel overwhelmed or prefer not to think about their finances at all. I call that the ostrich head in the sand technique. But this lack of a plan often leads to money stress and difficulty reaching financial goals. Tracking leads to awareness, and awareness leads to better decisions. And once you see your real numbers in front of you, it's harder to rationalize that extra $500 a month on things you don't even remember buying. And if you're not sure where to start, check out my net worth tracker. It's a simple tool to record your assets minus liabilities and where your cash might actually be going. You don't need to track every single latte that you buy, but you do need to see the big picture. And you can download for free on my website. The link is in the description. There's also a tutorial video I made on how to fill it out. Taking a few minutes each month to track your vitals can make the difference between financial drift and steady progress. It really does make a huge difference. All right, the fourth bad habit I see is not identifying your 1 week spending area. Almost everyone has a financial blind spot, a single spending category where money quietly slips away each month. And if you don't identify it, you might feel stuck financially even if your income is solid. Start with evaluating your big 3 expenses: housing, food, and transportation. For most people, the overspending shows up in one of these areas. I love eating out, and I know I go overboard sometimes, but I've made peace with it and I built it into my budget, so I am aware of it and it doesn't derail the rest of my plan. But housing is where many Canadians are getting squeezed the hardest. Home prices and rents have exploded over the past few years, and today 22% of Canadian households spend 30% or more of their income on housing, the threshold where it's considered pretty unaffordable. For renters, it's worse. 1 in 3 spend that much or more. And in places like Toronto and Vancouver, the numbers are much higher. Food and transportation aren't far behind. Groceries, takeout, and restaurants have all become more expensive. Between car payments, gas, insurance, and repairs, costs can balloon quickly. If you're not sure where to start improving your finances, try this. First, audit your biggest expense category. Look back at a few months of transactions and ask yourself, is this spending actually improve my life? And is it a necessity, or is it just a habit? And can I cut back on it? Fixing just 1 week spending area can change everything. You don't need to overhaul your entire budget overnight. Just plug the biggest leak first. And if you're struggling to break out of these habits, at Blueprint Financial, we've helped a lot of Canadians ditch the paycheck to paycheck cycle and build real wealth. We're fee-based, unbiased, and actually are out for your best interests. So book your free discovery call. The link's in the description. All right, the next bad habit is a poor internal locus of control. And I don't want to sound too preachy on this one because I know times are tough now. But it's easy to blame your financial stress on things outside of your control. Things like housing prices, the economy, the government. And to be fair, times are tough. This might be the hardest stretch Canadians have faced since the 1980s recession. But blaming everything around you doesn't help. A 2019 study in the Frontiers of Psychology found that people with an external locus of control, those who believe outside forces mainly shape their lives, report more stress, anxiety, and financial frustration. But on the flip side, people with an internal locus of control, those who believe they can influence their outcomes, tend to save more, plan better, and take consistent action. And according to the Journal of Economic Psychology, this mindset is strongly linked to better retirement planning and less debt. No one can fix the job market or housing crisis alone, but you can control how you respond. Learning new skills, saving, and taking financial planning seriously all move the needle in the right direction. And I do know that acknowledging the struggle is very important, but progress starts when you shift focus to what you can control. Next is cheaping out too much. This one is a bit counterintuitive. Now, shouldn't being cheap mean that you save more money? Well, not always. Trying to save money by always going for the cheapest option can cost you more over time. And one of the best concepts I want you to understand is cost per usage. For example, I bought a Patagonia Nano Puff jacket for about $200. Now, while this is quite expensive, I've probably worn it over 500 times in the past 5 winters. It's versatile as a base layer or on its own, so I wear it almost every day in the winter. If it lasts another 5 years, that's only 20 cents per wear. And if it ever rips, Patagonia will repair it so it keeps going longer. There's no reason that this jacket can't last me another 10 or 20 years. The same idea applies to other everyday things: a well-made backpack you use daily, a durable pair of shoes or boots that last for years, or quality kitchen knives you reach for every day. Now, it's worth paying more for quality when it's something you use constantly. A great place to get ideas is a subreddit called Buy It For Life. You'll find tons of recommendations for products that last years instead of months. Personally, there are things that I'll never cheap out on. Things like a good mattress, shoes, and underwear. Because these are things you're going to spend the majority of your life in, and it's just not worth sacrificing comfort and quality to save a few dollars up front. So before you buy something cheap, ask yourself whether you'll end up replacing it over and over. Sometimes spending a bit more is actually the smartest way to save. Next is not investing in health. I'm a strong believer that health is perhaps the highest return investment you will ever make. And it's not only for living longer, but it boosts your motivation, energy, focus, and your ability to earn money. When you feel better, you work better, and life just feels easier overall. Diet, exercise, and sleep are the foundation. You don't have to spend a fortune to improve them. Even simple habits like maintaining a good sleep schedule each night or cooking more healthy meals at home can make a huge difference. I would say prioritizing good sleep is especially underrated in our culture, where bragging about how little sleep you get sometimes can be kind of a weird flex people make. Chronic sleep deprivation affects your mood, focus, and decision making, which can lead to poor choices in every part of your life, including your finances. Of those three things I mentioned, diet, sleep, and exercise, I personally struggle most with sleep. And most people struggle with one more than others, so try to focus on that one to improve it, which is what I've been doing the past few years with sleep. And exercise doesn't have to mean expensive gym memberships. I think the key to this is to find a low cost and very accessible activity you actually enjoy, whether it's basketball, swimming, hiking, cycling, or my new obsession, which is pickleball, the fastest growing sport in Canada. When you like what you're doing, you're more likely to stick with it. But be selective with what you spend money on for health. Supplements like fish oil, creatine, and fiber have solid scientific research backing them and can be a worthwhile value add to your health. But a lot of trendy products like detox teas, essential oils, or crystals, a lot of the time don't have much evidence to back up their claims. Think of it this way though, every hour you spend taking care of your health pays you back many times over in energy and productivity. And over the long run, investing in your body and mind helps you avoid costly medical issues and makes it easier to keep showing up as your best self. Small improvements add up, so better sleep, regular movement, and healthier food choices compound over time, just like interest in a savings account. Building good money habits isn't about depriving yourself, it's about creating freedom and security that lasts. And at Blueprint Financial, we can help you make a clear path that fits your goals and your life. There's always more to learn, so visit our site to explore your next steps. And if you enjoyed this, give us a like and subscribe. YouTube's picked another video you'll find helpful, so go ahead and check it out here.